Hello everyone, how is everyone? Welcome back, Potty Mouth Garden Club. Yes, as you can see, there is just three of us at the moment. The two special ones are here, though. That's the main thing. The young lad said he's stuck and he might be able to get in. He might be actually a few minutes, or he might be 30 minutes. So we'll wait and see what's happened, because I've got a lot of questions for JB. His hut video is out there, so it'd be nice to have a chat about that. But Audrey,
yes,
because JB's not here. Hello. No, how are you doing? Are you good? Are you well?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Audrey, I'm not joking. It's Baltic here. It's -1. The fire's on downstairs. The woodlog burning fire. The heating's on. I'm wearing thick socks. I can't take this cold. It's just no good. No good.
Oh, you don't want to live here.
First frost last night, Audrey. First frost.
We haven't had one yet.
Right.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not going to be happening till the end of November.
Right.
Which is unheard of. Unheard of.
Wow.
So, yeah. So you're down to what we would say, you're like down to 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
Which for us is, not bad. Because apparently the polar vortex is coming back again this year.
Right.
So God knows how low we'll go. But yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know how, honestly, because we went, Audrey, to Germany last year for kind of like a Christmas holiday thing, and it was -9, and it was just like an alien planet. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, what the hell? Nothing we could do. As soon as you stood still, it came through your boots, your shoes. I was wearing two. Oh, so I don't know how you kind of put up with it. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're used to it, and you dress for it. So, yeah. And my husband wears shorts all winter. So
it's funny, I don't know if that's a Jess. I don't know if you know about. I was at the Metro Centre yesterday. Hello, Jess. I'll how are you doing, Jessie? Are you good? Are you good? Yes. Have you had a frost, Jess, or not? Or
no frost
did you
here
have a
yet.
frost
I mean,
last
it hasn't
night?
been the coldest it's got. I think it was about 4 a couple of nights ago, but it's back up to like 7 at night now. Yeah. But I was just remembering, the coldest I think I've ever been is on a ski lift in -21 with the wind blowing, and the ski lift just stopped. And we were up there for about half an hour. I don't think I've ever been so cold in my life. It was absolutely grim.
Man. Oh, God.
Don't need to repeat that.
Actually, I'm scared of heights, so the things stopping in midair, I wouldn't be bothered about the cold. I wouldn't be bothered about
terrified. Not a good combo.
Oh, I know. Oh, man. We definitely had, like, it was like, like the white frost where everything's white. It's almost like a snow looking frost when I went out today, and I went up to the garden today to do a bit of kind of work, and it was just all white. It was like, wow, lovely crisp because of bright, sunshine and that. So it was a lovely day to kind of get stuck in the garden. So
we've still got no sunshine here. We're still under that blanket of cloud that I was talking about last week. It's still grey.
Man,
it just hasn't shifted.
I don't think we've had a cloudy day, Jess. Because, like I say, I went up today and it's bright blue sky.
Oh, wow.
Like bright blue. I mean, I've got nothing really to get ripened or anything, you know what I mean? But it's just lovely, bitter cold, but lovely sunshine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just exactly what you want to play in the garden. Do you know what I mean?
Here it is just grey. Just grey.
I'll be switching on them. Them blue lights, them mood lights. I would be having all lights, them in the, like flicking all them on. Yeah, bloody hell. That's happened. That's been going on then for a couple of weeks now, has it?
This is third week. We had one day of sunshine in the middle where it broke, but the thing is really frustrating is the forecast says it should be a bright sunshine, like it's telling us it should be sunshine, but it's just not breaking through the cloud. It's just like this heavy, thick layer of grey. Some days it doesn't even feel like like the sun's come up. Like it's so dark. It's just like a being in a little hovel. Strange.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's try and talk about gardening then. What I was going to ask you, because I know JB's, building his hut there. Is anybody else? Because I was up with chainsaws today at the allotment. Is anybody else going to be doing construction work on the? You know what I mean, on the garden? Audrey, have you got plans over the? Well, not over the. I guess.
Well, it will. A lot of it will be done over the winter. Yes, we're constructing a new arbor for my blackberry bushes that I planted. Kevin's repairing a bunch of the beds that have just kind of not weathered very well. So yeah, we have a lot of, but not a ton of. I think the arbor is the only new thing.
You see our Audrey. You see how he's just right in the middle of you, right in the middle of the talking. So we just better be quiet and just tell him nothing. Tell him nothing. How are you doing, lad?
What have I missed?
No. I've just JB. I tell you what, lovely. Thank you for coming on. I know because I watched your video on the hut build. Do you know what I mean? So I was just asking anyone, Jess and Audrey, saying they're doing an arbor build. You know what I mean? So over the winter, you know what I mean? They're going to be getting stuck in there. These are for the blackberries, Audrey. That's going to just. I wouldn't have planted them. They'll be away, man. They're going to just be rampant.
Well, I hope they are because we really like blackberries.
Right.
So, and I think you can control them if you're vigilant about it, can't you? They're thornless, so I don't think they go quite as wild.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you had a cultivar.
Yeah, they're fine.
So they're not going to be crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it'll be pretty, and who doesn't like a blackberry?
When would that get stopped? Audrey, if you've got these kind of minus whatever degrees, when does that get started? Does it get all built in the garage or something, and then?
Oh, I think a lot of it will get built in the garage, or
right.
Kevin doesn't. These cold weather temps do not bother him, so he might do it just out in the driveway. I don't know.
Man, isn't it like minus 20 Celsius over there?
Total lack of comprehension in Tony's eyes there. Just
because Jessie had said her coldest
tonight.
Her coldest was 21 degrees Celsius, and that's 6 below for us. So it's minus 6 for us, which is cold for sure. But we don't live at those temperatures. So yeah, that's still really cold.
Audrey, I'm such a weakling. Do you know what I mean? I'm such a need. You know what I mean? I've got such a Goldilocks zone of it has to be not too hot and not too cold. And honestly, mind you, my fingers get freezing even a cold night, not freezy. Just bad. You know what I mean?
No, I can tell right now my fingers are freezing.
Right.
And it's not even that cold outside. But yeah, they're frozen right now.
I feel the cold, me. You know what
I mean? I don't like that.
I've got a sweater, a t-shirt, then I've got a vest as well. Do you know what I mean? So, see, JB, we've had a serious frost last night.
Oh, already? Yours has arrived.
Jess was saying yours are still, or Jess is anyways, covered in cloud, still cloud from the last.
We've had a few breaks. It was a nice weekend as well, but it is getting colder for sure. We've got -1 on the south coast forecast for tomorrow night. So
bring it on.
My friend actually, he's moved back to the UK after living in Minnesota for a few years, where it was properly Arctic winters. And he was saying, 5 degrees here feels worse. It feels horrible just being outside in 5 degrees. And he'd prefer it being -20 over in Minnesota. So maybe that'll make you feel a little bit better, Tony.
There you go, Audrey. There you go.
I understand Minnesota, man, that's up north for us. That's almost, the Yukon. But yeah, no, Minnesota's chilly.
But yeah, it's funny that the temperature can feel so different in different countries. My friend Sanna, who I used to live with, she's Finnish, right? It's cold in Finland, proper cold. and she's like, here on a cold, wet day that's about 4 degrees, she's like, it feels so much colder here than it does in Finland when it's like, under about 25 foot of snow.
It's damp cold.
Yeah, it's wet. It gets in your bones.
Yeah,
it's
damp.
really like.
Yeah, damp is a whole different ball game. Yeah, don't like damp.
And we are very, very damp. Yeah.
Well, it looks lovely outside. I mean, honestly, I suppose when you're walking with the dogs and everything like that, it's gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? But it's fire's on. The bed socks are by the bed for us tonight. No,
Do you wear a little nightcap? Do you wear a little nightcap?
Yes, I know. That's Audrey. I have looked on Amazon. Don't think I haven't. Do you know what I mean? I will turn into Scrooge as well. Do you know what I mean? So, Audrey, will Kevin make this from scratch, or will you buy in a pack?
Oh no, he'll make it from scratch.
Oh, that's like a proper.
Yeah, he's a woodworker. So
not buying it in bulk in packs.
Yeah, no, he's
ready-made. Nobody like that kind of. Do you know what I mean? That's not easy. God,
honestly, he has some really mad woodworking skills. So I'm happy to, fan the flame and go, hey, honey, how about a new arbor? He's like, yeah, I could do that. So it's a good little winter project for him.
Jess, are you doing anything kind of construction-wise?
We're going to be doing some work on the shed. Not putting a new shed up, but going to be doing a bit of work in that because the floor at the back has started to kind of drop a bit. So we're going to do so it's mainly repairs rather than building anything. I think this year I do have to make some new compost bins. The two like really stable ones are still fine, but we've got like one that was kind of pre-made. It wasn't meant to be a compost bin, but it was like a pallet, but it'd been in home base actually for like they had bags of gravel in it, like ready to take. And we took that, but unfortunately, because it's on legs, it's like just above the ground. So obviously the bottom's fallen out of it after like 3 years of having compost in it. So that's going to need to be rebuilt. But yeah, I think it's just going to be fence repairs, shed repairs, and sorting the compost bins out. I think that's the main. I'm not going to build anything new. I don't have any space to build anything new anymore.
Mm-hmm. No,
so you got to knock down the old stuff.
Will this be wood you've kind of scrounged from bits and pieces, Jess, or will you go to like a timber yard?
No, we've got so much wood. I don't know. Am I delayed because whenever I speak, you will just sat there like, okay. Right. That would like explain it. You're not all just like, what?
BBC News interview.
Yeah.
You actually did. You jumped from my screen from one side to the other. So I wonder if are you close to your router? Your router, or
I am, but it keeps coming up saying, sorry, I know this isn't gardening-y, but it's saying normally, on the thing it says at 99% all the way through, and it's saying like 32%. So it's obviously struggling. I don't know what's going on. Apologies for that. But yeah, all the wood is going to be all the wood is going to be salvaged and scrounged because we've just got masses of it like stacked at the back of the plot. So yeah.
So we'll talk about the construction that the Bob the Builder was out down. Mine, I'll be honest, JB, that was it is a quality shed.
It's good, isn't it? It's pretty good.
It's a chunky monkey. You know what I mean? The wood inside is.
Yeah. I was really, really pleased. So, do you want me to tell the story? You okay if I just start telling about it?
Go on.
I was really, basically, I was angling for that shed for quite a long time. So, like when it came to redo the shed, I was looking around at shed companies, and there's there's like your standard ones, you know, they're all pretty much the same from like a raft of different companies. But you go to like a big box store, B&Q or whatever, and their sheds are going to look like dozens and dozens of other companies. And this one that I saw, Power Sheds, just looked like one of the few sheds where they actually have their factory. They buy in all the timber, they produce it on site, you know, and then they pack it all up and ship it all out. So it's actually like made here. And as opposed to it all just being imported. I'm not sure that that's always how it's done, but that's sort of the vibe you get. So that was quite reassuring. And then there's quite a few videos that they've got with the founders kind of talking about the quality of the timber and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, you know what, I think that's one of the ones that I want. And when I first tried to, you know, have a little chat to the company, see if they, see if they were interested. They weren't biting, basically. But that was way back in summer. You know, I was sowing the seeds. I was getting them interested a little bit early, and then much later on, when they kind of they had a bit of a, I don't know, marketing push or whatever, and I got back in touch with them and said, "Hey, I'm about to pull the trigger. I'm probably going to buy a shed." I probably shouldn't say this, but I probably would have just bought one from that company because they were the best ones that I'd seen, to be honest. But yeah, they were really up for doing a little deal and giving me a discount on it, and I was so impressed as soon as it arrived. And literally every single person who's walked past on the allotments has stopped, kind of poked their head in, and just been like, "Oh my god, that's really good quality, isn't it? Like that must have set you back a few quid."
There was lots of little things that I liked, which I think you did perfect, JB, in the video. One of the little ones is would have caught loads of people out though was drilling the screws into soft timber. And you're exactly right, because it's soft, it would just bury in and not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that I thought that was, you know what I mean? Because you would get frustrated about that. But if anyone's, you know, would watch it, would know, you know, because I was thinking, all right, and put washers there, but you were using clamps.
Yeah. Washers was a good suggestion. I had in lots of the comments. It probably would have really helped actually, using some washers. I pre-drilled some of them, but even the ones that I pre-drilled, it seemed like it was happening anyway. And I think it's the screws that I was using were super grippy. The thread went quite far up on them, and quite often I was chatting to Ian from Growing Local, and he says if you're going through quite a lot of timber, what you want is a lot of the end of the screw to be kind of blanked, you know, so that screw can spin freely in the first bit of wood that you go through. So they were super grippy bits of wood, but just getting the clamps on it solved the problem.
They supplied, and even that though, the amount of screws,
it was good, wasn't it?
Because you honestly go to a DIY shop, buy a box of screws, you go through them like, you know, because when you first get a box of screws, you're thinking, oh, you know what I mean? But they sharp go down once
they
you
quickly go down. I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I was very, very pleased with it. You're always a little bit worried, especially if a company's kind of agreed to do you a discount, even if they've agreed that, you know, honest opinions are fine and they're not like paying for, you know, an advert, or, you know, they're not paying for your endorsement or anything like that. So when you get something, when you've got that set up, but then the product arrives and it's just like pretty much perfect, it's just what you want. It makes your life feel much easier.
I like the way it just came on that pallet though as well.
Yeah, really, really compact.
I mean, because that's like a nice little, you know, if you got it delivered to your house, you haven't got like, because when we got this thing 8 years ago, when we got a big one, it was just like it took up everywhere until it got fixed. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And the way that it's stored on the pallet is actually brilliant. Every single panel is vertical, and each one is screwed in. So if it's just you and it's in your front garden, you can unscrew it one panel at a time. The whole thing isn't going to start to fall over. You know, it's not like you got to have 3 people there to manage it all, and you take out a couple of screws and then it's like a towering, you know, chaotic thing. It's all really, really nicely done.
Right. Have you seen it, Audrey? Have you seen this young lad putting his shed up?
I have not watched that video yet, but I saw the thumbnail. So I'll be watching that this week for sure.
Very nice.
It looked very nice.
And it was... JB, it was a 2-man job. There's no getting away from it, man. You know what I mean? And did you do that just because it's awkward to find someone, or did you want to prove to yourself? Because there was some times when I was thinking, Do you know what I mean? It was like kind of precarious. It's going to drop. It's going to drop.
Yeah. There was one bit where I was putting the last bit of wall panel in. That was the sketchiest bit for sure. And I dropped the whole thing, but I managed to catch it just before it smashed into the ground and broke the bottom of the tongue and groove. But yeah, I would recommend 2 people. Mainly, the issue was Jess had agreed to help me for like one afternoon. She said, you can have me for one afternoon. She was really busy with like writing her book, and it was coming up to the deadline and stuff. And I was like, okay. And I had it all figured out. She came up just to help me with the roof, and it all went a bit sideways, and she didn't get there until much later. So I had to do a lot of groveling to come up for the second day towards the end and help me with a few of the final touches. But yeah, there were also, I've got some plot neighbors who were really up for helping out, but they did not want to be on film. So that was sort of like the trade-off. I was like, wow, I gotta film it. I want to get it all on film. So they took a backseat. They helped me get the first 2 panels up. Once you got the first 2 wall panels up, that's kind of fine. Because
all of a sudden they were up.
Yeah.
Because you started like doing that, like how do I catch this sort of thing, and then all of a sudden they were up, and I was like,
yeah.
Right, someone help
you.
The
magic of production. Yeah, that was there were 4 people who helped me get 4 including me getting those first 2 up. But once they're in, it's not too bad, and you can kind of do it as a one-man job.
I like the idea as well. Honestly, it's cracking quality. I like the idea of the foot plates where you can screw them and get them.
Yeah. So that wasn't from the company. That was my own kind of.
Oh, right.
That was my own laziness. So that's a completely separate product. I'm not sure how well I got that across in the video. I had to cut a lot. I did like 3 days of filming, and I think I had about 2 hours. I dragged it into the editing. I was like, no. So it was really cut down. I wanted to, actually have it watchable around half an hour. But yeah, those plates, I spent quite a while sort of thinking, like, what am I going to do? And it's the other kind of product you see a lot is just basically a ground spike and the plate on top. Yes. So normally it's like an L bracket with a massive spike coming out of it that you dig into the ground. But once that's in, you can't change it. You can't really level it up, or I guess you can push it back down. But once it's in, you're going to struggle to get it back up. So that little quick jack system with the nut and the plate, I was just like, brilliant. That was expensive. That was a little bit like, this is an investment. Right. It was about £200 for those. But it's serious metalwork. So all things considered, it's well priced. It's not like you're getting fleeced or anything like that. And really heavy duty metalwork. When the guy delivered it at the door, he sort of had just put it down at the at the door. And I went to pick it up, and it was just like, it just didn't move. There were like 3 boxes stacked on top of each other, like sword in the stone, nothing moving. They were seriously heavy.
Jimmy, there's loads in the comments there saying, beautiful shed, Angela, beautiful shed, and amazing price there. Cracking, Mr. Richard says, cracking video. Like it was a good video because it, why I like the video on a YouTuber's kind of weird, JB, because I was thinking you didn't know if it was going to work out all right. There's just you by yourself. And like you say, them little bits at the bottom of each panel was so vital to like lip over to but if they could snap off like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm glad that came across. Yeah.
No, it was a good video, to be honest. Good video. We've lost Jess. If no one hasn't noticed there, Jess has gone there. So, and actually, someone was saying, I think it was Chris, a blurry Jess is better than no Jess.
Very good.
Must be.
She is trying to log back in.
Yeah. So what was? That's what I was going to say. One thing, and it was the same with mine, JB. Because I had my hut. I had it was like where all the lights and the heat were for the.
Oh, your big hut, the big old one.
Yeah. So, but I had that same thing where and at first I was thinking, and obviously it's doing for ventilation, but them gaps around. Do you have to? I know it's like it's ventilation, so we kind of get it, and it keeps all the air circulating and everything like that. So obviously it's needed, but from a hut, cozy, warm, with depth of winter, you want it bloody warm. So
that's I sent the company sort of like a list of kind of like basically feedback, and the soffits were the one thing that I didn't understand in the build. Like, it's the one thing that really I couldn't quite get right. It's a very easy fix, so it's not the end of the world. It's not like I just need some bits of wood that are the right size.
Hello.
Hello.
She's back. But yeah, I don't understand what has gone on there or why they don't fit. That issue and the kind of rafters at the front looking slightly short. I let the company know, and they've sort of said, "Oh yeah, we've sent it to the team, and we'll get back to you." So I'll cover it off in a little video at some point, doing a little follow up. But the idea is, they say in the instructions you can leave them. You don't have to put them in. You can leave them for extra ventilation if you want. But I'm mostly worried actually about like wasps and like ladybirds and nesting and that kind of thing. And literally the day after it was built, I went up, and the next time I went in the shed, there were like 30 ladybirds in there already. They'd already moved in and made it their house. I don't really mind ladybirds, but it's more like if they can get in, so can birds, or I don't know, like a bat or something that you don't really want in there. So yeah, I'm hoping there'll be a fix for that at some point in the near future.
That foam, the expanding foam.
That is an option as well. Yeah, end of the day. Yeah, what you do is you spray a load of foam in, and then you do a nice little bit of wood on the inside so you can't see it. Cover it up.
But it's just, for me though, Jibby, you know what I mean? It's like such a good hut. I would like to be in there in a warm, like get it nice and warm, and if it's all just, vented to the, it's not like a storage. It's not like a storage hut, you know what I mean? Well, I wouldn't, that... For me, anyway. But anyway, Jess, hello.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Are we on a different?
I'm out of breath because I've just been running backwards and forwards across the top of the house, like boom, 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 boom. And obviously, I'm incredibly light-footed, obviously, but the poor cat's terrified, like this in the corner.
We've been talking about JB's hut. Have you watched by any chance his video? Have you had time to watch it or?
I saw it, but with the sound off because I was editing my own video. So you were doing a lot of talking, but I didn't hear what you were saying.
Mostly good thing. Mostly good thing.
Here's a question then, JB. Right? Let's just say money is a premium. Would you have paid the asking price for that now that you've been through the build?
100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
the asking price is it's 1,000 or something, isn't it, for that?
Yeah, and actually, it wasn't until after I built it, I was like, actually, that's a really good price. Because I say in the video, I'm like, this is a lot of money for a shed, and that is true. But actually, you'd expect to pay £600-700 for like a crap shed that size. Like even crap sheds are really, really expensive now. Like a lot of people are used to kind of pre-pandemic prices for timber, when you could probably get a shed for, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 quid for that kind of size. But that just doesn't exist now, even for a crappy one. And for yes, it's just so worth it for like the ease of building it, knowing that nothing's going to break, and knowing that it's got like if you get the one I got, it's a 20-year guarantee, it's pretty crazy. And they've got a slightly lower end model, which still comes with a 10-year guarantee. And the lower end model looks pretty much just as good. It's just slightly, there's like a few features missing, and it's slightly smaller timber framing, but it's still pretty chunky. It's still tongue and groove, walls, floor, roof. Looks really, really good. So yeah, I would have paid it. I was pretty much ready to pay it anyway. So yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, I got quite lucky with
it. I like the idea as well, like that's what you don't often see is when you've got the two joins meeting, they give you like a little bit of wood to put down.
Yeah, the strips.
Just to tidy it up and make it look nice, as well as keeping it, secure and watertight. So
yeah, it's really, really nice.
Is it pressure treated? Oh, it was, wasn't it? So it's not going to, you haven't got to get a coat of paint or something on straight away. You can kind of have a breather.
You get a year. They basically say if you want to maintain the year, the guarantee, the first year is fine, but you do need to get it painted. But yeah, the premium one is pressure treated, and the standard one is kind of dip treated, like standard treatment. So
right.
that's why on the pressure treated one you get the 20-year guarantee.
Well, mind you, them boards of mine, JB, you know, the raised beds, they're pressure treated, and it's just, you know what I mean? They're still good. Where compared to that thing, I've cut up that other bed today with the chainsaw. Do you know
I
what I
saw
mean?
your thumbnail. We were out and about this afternoon. I saw, Tony's got another chainsaw thumbnail. Well, I'm glad you're still with us here today.
Now, are you planning to rebuild that bed, Tony?
I don't know. It has to be Audrey, but it's just like the work. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Kevin did say that if you're able to wait till April, he will help you build that. And
that would be a collab.
I mean,
that's my
really
story all over, isn't it? Getting people in to help us.
Yeah. So if you're game, I would take him up on it.
Amazing.
You could get an arbor out of it too, Tony.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, why are you here? You know what I mean?
I know.
Over there.
And we'll spend our 3 weeks. We're just working on your plot, right?
Anything else? Anything on bills? Anything? JB, have you got anything planned more?
Bills?
Like builds? Like
bills. You know, like I thought you were talking about bills. I was like, talking about electric prices, allotment, rent. What did I miss at the start? No other big builds. There's still so much to do around the outside of the shed. And to be honest, I finished the shed like 2 weeks ago, and afterwards I was really expecting to be like, I've got the shed up there now, like I want to be up there every day, and I just completely crashed. Like the motivation just went right down. And when I was building the shed, it was like in the grey weeks, you know, like the 2 or 3 weeks of just grey weather, and it was really miserable out. And work got really busy. So it's only just kind of this weekend, Sunday. It's the first day I've been back out at the allotment, like getting stuck in and feeling pretty good. I did lots of like laying the slabs out around the edges of the shed. Now I got to put up like some fences and that kind of thing. My big issue with the allotment in terms of like building and structures at the moment is I just have a lot of stuff I need to store, like stuff that's too big to go in the shed, like compost and like, you know, 40 bags of manure and stuff like that. So I think my plan is to build sort of like an extended roof out across from the shed. Yeah, sort of like a lean-to on the shed. Yeah. And then I've just got like a covered area to store a lawnmower and timber, you know, just to keep stuff dry. And because my polytunnel is just like timber everywhere. Like the polytunnel has basically become a shed. You know, and it's just really difficult to work in there. This Sunday, I just took out all the chilies. And I fell over like 4 times, just like trying to stagger around like all these bits of broken timber and stuff like that. It's not very good. But yeah, so that's kind of the building stuff for me, is sorting the outside of the shed and all that good stuff.
I tell you what I liked as well, mind you, JB, was that, because I know exactly what you mean about cheap roof felt. You know what I mean? My dad's been, my stepdad was a roof felter for, you know, all his working career. And even on mine, I do get the cheap stuff if ever. That stuff, was that honestly
that was as hard as I could.
Right.
You can rip it.
Top quality.
Yeah, there was a little bit where I put the nail in wrong, and you know, it did rip a tiny bit when I was in there with like a crowbar. You know, it's like if you really go for it, it will go. It's not completely indestructible, but it's far stronger than most of the stuff you're gonna find on them. Like you just pop down and get a roll for like 20 quid or whatever. No,
good. It's a great product. Do you know what I mean? Happy to kind of, you know, it's nice to find companies like that are kind of, do you know what I mean? Like,
it's quality focus. It's the sort of thing, you know, you make an investment, you buy it once, and it will last you for, you know, heaven knows how long. My parents saw it and they were like, well, you'll have to come around and build us one. I was like, okay.
Shot yourself in the foot there.
Yeah, they were dying for one. So I immediately sent the company an email like, let's do another deal for my parents. Do another video. We'll see where that one goes. But yeah, very pleased.
Yes, Jess, it can't be that cold, Jess. That is like an Arctic blanket.
It is absolutely.
That looks very cozy.
Freezing.
I know. I'm jealous.
It is so cold. My windows don't shut in my office,
What?
So like there's just the air's just blowing straight through the windows into my office. So it's quite chilly in here. Plus, you were talking about having the fire on. I went to replace the seal on the fire earlier this week, and they've only sent the seal for the outer seal for the door, but I'd taken the whole lot off because I thought I had both pieces. So now we're waiting for the inner piece so I can get the fire working again. So at the moment, it's just blankets. That's it.
So are we talking about a wood burning fire?
Yeah, like the stove.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Well, see, I'm interested now. Where'd you get your wood from? Where? Are you like a tip rat when it comes to wood?
We just scavenge it from everywhere. A couple of years ago, I bought like a big load of wood from, I think it's called like the Real Wood Company or something like that. And it's like 140 quid. And it did us for more than a year of having the winter section of having the fire on for that time. And I went to go and, like you were saying, JB, about the price of wood, I went to go and buy the same again, and it had gone up to like 360 for the same quantity of wood in like the space of a year. And I was like, 360 is a bit excessive. So yeah. So yeah, we don't have any wood. We're just kind of, we've got bits of leftover and stuff that we've chopped down at the allotment and seasoned and that kind of stuff.
We were quite fortunate that when we moved into this place, we had a massive spruce tree that was taken down, and they let us keep most of the logs. So we've got years and years. But it's all like you can't just use that. You've got to mix it in with the other stuff. But it's really good for kindling, especially.
Yeah, I mean, for years we've had like just a complete like normal access to pine, because I used to work at the place that sold the Christmas trees. The big blocks that the Christmas trees come on that are big, like this wide, just slices that are seasoned. You leave them for like 2 years, and we would get like carloads and carloads of them every year. We've got them like a pneumatic log splitter, and they like explode.
Yeah,
really, really good. We used to do it every year, but since I don't work there anymore, and also they don't give the wood away anymore. That used to come free with the trees, and they don't even provide it with the trees anymore. So it's just. Yeah, now it's sad times. Now we're like just rubbing our little kindling sticks together.
Are we going to sow any salad over this winter? Is anyone daring to do that? Or Jess, are you a little nod there? Would you be doing anything like that?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of stuff growing in the polytunnel at the moment. I've got mustard greens, lamb's lettuce, spinach, coriander, parsley. I've got quite a few bits and pieces that they're coming along really nicely, because although it's been really grey, it hasn't been that cold. So things have really, like, they're looking good.
Are they just in like little seed trays? Have you got them in pots?
No, they're just, inside my polytunnel, I've got like the raised bed. They're just grown in that. Yeah.
Right. And we've still got both of you down south of England, still got your sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I haven't dug them out yet.
Man.
Saw JB's.
Although JB did.
I took mine out yesterday. Appalling. Really bad. Really bad, Tony. I was filming. I haven't edited it yet, but I was like, I can't believe this is what I've got compared to Tony's. You're gonna laugh when you see it. It's not good.
Oh, JB, give us a little taster. Give us a little.
Missed the photo. He sent us a photo, Tony.
Yeah, there's a photo in the WhatsApp. There's one good one, and it's the first one I dug up. Right, like so I'm going through the pot, and the first one I see was this like giant, like really nice. No, I was like, oh my god, it's actually worked.
You didn't have to do much to them the whole year.
No, it's true. They were relatively like
pretty much planted and forget it kind of crop.
Well, that's what you do. You know what I mean? It's such an easy crop to grow. You know what I mean? I can't find it. Where's it in the core, or is it in?
No, in the friends chat.
In the normal, yeah.
The normal. Bear with us, folks.
Everyone's just scanning their phone now.
We need one of those like technical difficulties screens.
Oh yeah, there it is. I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, that sums it up.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. It looks like Mike's droppings. It doesn't look big at all. JB.
How
I
many
know.
slips was that?
One. That was one.
Okay, well, that's not horrible for just one.
I mean, it could have been worse, I suppose. But I was a bit like,
considering the growing year, I gotta say that's not bad.
right? Yeah, it could have been
Yeah.
worse. Yeah, let's keep it coming with
yeah.
positivity.
To be fair,
It's
that
gotta be
year that
positive, Tony.
the year that they were really tragic, and I was filming and really excited about what was going to be in there because the plant had grown brilliantly. I would have been so happy with that harvest. I'm not kidding. I got about 10 the size of my little finger. That was it. That was all that was in that pot. And then when I was editing the video, it was so sad because my little face, I was like well excited, like rummaging through, and there was just nothing.
Yeah, that was me. To add insult to injury as well, I messed up the recording of it, and I don't know how much I actually got on camera.
Oh.
So it's like double whammy. You know, it didn't even get the reaction.
You're going to have to rebury them and under the excitement again.
I'm trying to see if I can just download it and get it
shared. Yeah, the one on the left is like, it's a decent size. It's kind of as long as my hand, but it wasn't a great harvest.
Nah, it doesn't look
when I sent it to the chat, I was like, well, that was a waste of 30 litres of compost.
I know, I can show people it.
Oh, dear me.
One second, I'm just going to pull it up to show people.
I love Jason's comment there.
Yeah,
sell it to Tony for 20 quid.
So Audrey's right, mind you, Jamie. When you get a good look at that main one, that's a proper. You know what I mean? And because you did it in 30 litre, I did it in 60. I don't know, Audrey, would that have a difference?
I don't think that's horrible for one slip.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe I was just expecting a little too much from my sweet potatoes. Everyone in the comments is being very kind. Ian said it's not the worst.
Yeah, okay.
Jess,
I don't know about the very pale one at the end. But
that's really
that was poking out. That was poking out the top. That's gone green.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't.
It looks like a liver.
Yeah. Looks a bit.
A liver been through a little bit.
How much, JB, did you spend on slips to get that quantity?
That's a good question, isn't it, Tony? That's a good question. I have a feeling that is £12 and 99 pence worth of sweet potato. No, I had a load of other slips that just failed, basically. So there was one slip that I treated right. You know, I did it in 30 litres of compost in the greenhouse. Put another one in the greenhouse in the ground. Hasn't really done anything. Put two outside in the ground. Didn't really do anything. But it was worth a try. And I gave another one to a neighbour who I've not checked up on, actually. But they've probably got like the best crop you've ever seen. Because that's what normally happens when you give one away, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of money... how much did you pay for those jalapenos that you bought, Tony?
Yeah. I was Audrey.
No, I'm seriously asking because
it was for a test. Audrey, it was for a test.
It was tax deductible.
But still, how much did that cost you?
It came to about £26 all told, Audrey, which is probably about what's that? $40, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you can see over my left shoulder because we're kind of tall and skinny here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With a nice bowl of jalapenos, and they're nice. You know, they're nice size.
They're lovely size.
I got these at the grocery store, not even like at the farmer's market. I got 50 peppers for £3.80 or 80 pence, I guess. So I just wanted to encourage you that there's life living in this cold climate.
Mm-hmm.
And, lots of peppers.
Well, my wife Audrey went to one of these the Indian supermarkets we've got over here and got another quantity, probably about the same quantity, but it came to about, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there, she said. So there is cheaper than what, you know what I mean? I think it's just when they see me, do you know what I mean? The mug, you know what I mean? The price
They
just
stick
like
a zero
cling,
on
cling,
the end
cling,
of it.
cling. Yeah, yeah. So
Well, you look very eager, would be
I
my
know.
guess. So,
Yeah.
Like a little boy with the shorts.
yeah, do you have Aldi's over there?
What?
Aldi.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Aldi's? Yeah. I got those at Aldi.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Yeah, so for a bag of 8, it was like under $1.
Mhm.
It was
What we gonna do with them, Audrey? Are we stuffing them or are we
I'm gonna stuff some, and I want to make some more cowboy candy
Mm.
because I made the stuff that we made like 2 months ago
gone?
too mild. My husband loves it. People who like mild love it. I want some with some seeds and ribs in it. Yeah,
What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Audrey, just to give it a little kick then?
leave all the seeds, and because I take all the seeds out for Kevin.
All right.
He's not
Right.
yeah.
You need
So
honestly, you need to get chili chumps, jalapeno seeds. They're just on another level.
I tell you what, I've had a few more of those. I harvested a few more, and they were much, much lower on the heat. The first few that I had off that plant were like rocket fuel.
Right.
They were really, really intense. I thought the whole plant was going to be like that, but it was just the first few for some reason. They were like hot, like 10 times hotter than they should have been. And I'm quite glad that the rest of the plant has chilled out a little bit. So I've got some nice, tasty
Jimmy,
jalapenos.
is it to do with why would that happen then? Because can you get chilies that would, the longer you leave them on, do they go like weaker in strength or?
It should be relatively consistent, but you do just get random flukes sometimes. You know, I think especially like quite early on in the season where the chili might be having a few cold temperatures, sort of, you know, like April, May kind of time. Sometimes you get some really early flowering kind of in June. And I think sometimes the plant has just had a little bit of a tough time. And it's gone, okay, well, let's just get some fruit out as quick as we can. And it can go a little haywire. It can go a little wonky. I don't know what happened with them. I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, I've had them hot. I've had everyone was hot. To be honest, our cowboy candy did have that little kick, Audrey, that you mentioned there. You know, so
yeah,
very nice.
Yep. So those will be my jars, and Kevin has his jars already made.
So, JB, are you going to grow any salad over the winter, or we just kind of?
Oh, you know, I should try and grow something, shouldn't I? I've got all that garlic I've still not put in either. I'm quite behind on a few bits and bobs.
You keep on dipping. You keep dipping. Do you know what I mean? You're up and then you're down.
Yeah, it's like that when you've got, sometimes you just got to muster a load of enthusiasm for one, like, you know, I had to spend 3 days on that shed. And afterwards, it's sort of like, I really struggle actually to switch between like different modes of growing and gardening. You know, like if I'm in rip out, tidy up mode, the idea of then going to my seed box, thinking about where everything is and actually sowing stuff is just like, it does not compute. You know, like I can't do it. I'm like, I'll do that another day. Then I don't do it. There's still like 2 weeks of ripping out and building and stuff to do. It's probably, I think, my biggest weakness is I really struggle to switch back into growing mode as well.
Well, it's
you know,
it's totally different, isn't it? Two totally different tasks, so it's like hard to get. You know what I mean? It's just like hard to get motivated, like.
But it's always nice to have something growing, isn't it?
Yeah, I do have a few bits and pieces in the polytunnel, a few salads and some parsley and stuff, but it's not much. I do need to. Garlic is like very much my next priority. I want to get that in, but it depends if it's turned properly cold now and it's going to stay really, really cold. I don't know if it's the best idea to do the garlic now. I think it might be better to wait until it warms up a little bit. Otherwise, it might just kind of sit there and do nothing and maybe rot away in the soil. I think you want a bit of warmth, don't you? Sort of end of the season warmth for them to get their roots away, and then through winter they can get cold.
But I've heard that if you put in some sulfur when you're planting them, they won't rot over the winter if they don't have their roots down yet.
Interesting. Yeah, Ian's just said in the chat I'd hold off on a couple of weeks. I don't think you want to plant them in the middle of like a proper cold snap, you know. I will put them in the polytunnel as well, which makes it a little bit easier to control and they won't get too wet. Hello.
Pig and dogs again.
Is anybody doing flowers over winter? I was just looking up. They had from Jill saw earlier a question about winter veg and flowers. Has anybody got anything in?
Not flowers, nothing.
I won't put my flowers until January, the ones that need that long time.
Even my Jess is not, her flower radar has not kind of like switched on yet. It's just that kind of weather, I think. She's not up for it at the moment. No. We did a few sort of overwintering in the milk bottles last year, and some of them actually survived, even though we didn't realise. We just kind of left them. And then in the middle of summer, it was like, oh, there's some pansies and like some other bits. We opened them up and it's like, oh, they have survived.
Yeah, I'm going to lean heavy into winter sowing this year because last year it was the best. So I'm going to do a lot of that. And I think a lot of it was figuring out when to open the cartons so that they don't fry like an oven. So we played musical chairs a lot with them, but got great results. Brilliant.
I like the idea of dedicating one of the allotment beds to like just flowers, but I think it might be one of those things that I think is a really nice idea and then never get around to. But it would be nice. I had an idea that it would be like the first bed on the plot, you know, sort of in front of the shed where the shed is now. And I think if there was a place to do flowers, that would be a really nice space for it because I've definitely got enough space for growing now. It'd be quite nice to have some more flowers.
Touch of colour. Anything else before we wrap this puppy up? Audrey, anything going on? Anything?
No, I think now that we have till... I think we're going to pick some peas this week. So I think that will happen. And my fennel is still in, and I'm going to leave it in until we get that first frost, to let it keep. It's still bulking up a little bit, so I'm going to let that go. And I've got to start harvesting celeriac, and had some radicchio this week. So there's still a good little bit of stuff out there.
Well, my celeriac seems to be bulking up, Audrey, there, so I'm quite...
It does.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. And with this frost, you know, I've got some like kind of green, normal looking kale. That's hopefully sweetened itself up there a little bit as well. So all good. JB, anything else to say? Anything?
No, like I said, I've just been in shed mode. It was nice. I did quite a lot of polytunnel clearing, and I really did. I've got one chili plant left now. Turns out that... Do you remember me talking about having a mouse in the polytunnel? I don't know if we mentioned it on the show, actually. It's been in the videos. I've been pretty casual about it. I was like, it's not going to do much harm. My Sugar Rush Long Peach has been completely stripped. Not a single chili left on it. And it's done the thing that animals love to do where they just take a few bites and then, you know, just leave all the... just take a few. If you'd eaten 4 whole chilies, you would have eaten as much as, you know, taking one bite from every single chili on the plant.
Yeah, but that's not as fun.
I know. Clearly they love it. They just want to sample everyone. But yeah, that's a bit frustrating. But generally, the crops I've lost to the mice in the tunnel have been relatively minor, and they left my red habaneros alone, which I'm very thankful for because I had my last kind of chili harvest yesterday and the red habs looked pretty good. I'm really, really excited to make something with those.
Right. What will you make, Jimmy? Red, like a red sauce?
Yeah, I think I might do another cooked sauce. You know, that one that I sent a little video clip of that we had on last week is really good. It came out really, really nice. I think it's probably the best one I ever made. I gave some to some friends, and they all sent me very complimentary messages saying it's one of the best sauces they've ever tasted.
So there was no fermenting with that. It was just a pure...
just cooking. And I think I'm leaning more towards maybe doing a few more cooked sauces. I think you can be a bit more like experimental with it, and just chuck in stuff like fruit, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll probably end up cooking, and then I'll probably remember why I don't make cooked sauces, which is that we gas out the whole house. So I'll do one more sauce. Jess will get really angry at me because she can't breathe, and then we won't cook any more sauces for a few years, and then it will probably cycle back.
Well, another potty mouth is the end as afraid has come. Jess, where can we find you?
Plot 37 here, and where am I? Instagram and YouTube, and just around.
.com?
.com as well. Yes, well, you're on it today, Tony.
Keep on nudging. Come on, lad.
I need to get a little sticky note on the side of my laptop so I can remember. Like what I always want to say is, for some reason, the thing that comes to my head is "real food comes dirty" every time I go to say it, and I'm like, plot 37. I think it's because Audrey's text is always right, like at my eye level.
Yes.
Audrey, then where are you?
You can find me. Real food comes dirty. .com, YouTube, and Instagram.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Well done.
And JB?
I'm all embarrassed now. I'm too flushed. Can't do it. You can find me at Naturally JB on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, and I've done it wrong. That's it, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah, you put the and in the wrong place.
I've got it all wrong. You've thrown me off, Audrey.
I'm sorry. I stole your thunder there. I apologize.
Very good.
Right, look after everyone. Take good care. Thank you everyone in the chat. Toodle bit. Bye.